Do not adjust your cameras. Yes, it's me. Yeah, I know. You're going, what the hell happened to you? Job. Yeah, this, the money is the only thing anywhere near cool about this job. I'm just going to leave that there. So, again, I really wish I could make a post on Instagram, but still, I think it's like 870 more followers, and I can start making live posts on Instagram again. Just 870 more. So, but anyway, so let's get into this. I hate repeating myself. I really do. Because I hate repeating myself. I know there's some of y'all out there that hate hearing the same thing over and over again. But apparently, it needs to be said. And more of us need to be out there saying it to people. Okay? I'm not saying, nor have I ever said, that Trump or any other Republican politician are anywhere near perfect. Okay? I know some of you have heard me say that before. But we have got to get out and vote in these freaking elections. We have to. Excuse me. Because the Democrats are just plain flat out whack jobs. What happened in Virginia is I mean, I don't know how much bigger or brighter of a billboard you need. Okay? That is going to happen everywhere. I keep seeing these reports that, man, Democrats are losing, leftists are losing, there's more conservatives, there's more people, against what you know, their agendas and everything. Okay? Where are they at come election time? Where are they at? Because it does not matter if they don't go to the freaking polls and vote. So we've got to figure this out. And we've got to be realistic about it. I'm going to tell you right now, and I've been saying this, especially here in Texas. I can't speak for any other state. I hope this video makes it out to other states and people in those states look into what's going on in their states. Yes, I know if you're in a blue state like Oregon or California, New York, I totally, you don't have to say it. I know what's going on there. Okay. But what's going on in red states, like here in Texas? In case you haven't heard me or read anywhere where I've posted about it, talk about this, people are becoming disenfranchised. Patriots and conservatives are becoming disenfranchised with the Republican Party, and they're staying home. They're going, you know what? I'm not. And Texas is a very prime example, okay, with what happened with the Dustin Burrows situation. And the fact of the matter is, there are still so many freaking Texan conservatives and Republicans out there who still are unaware of this because they're uneducated, they're uninformed. You know, they go to work, they pay their bills, they sit down and eat their supper in the evening, they watch Law and Order or whatever the hell it is they're doing. They go to baseball games or, you know, whatever they're, you know, with their kids, or I don't know. But they're not reading and paying attention to what is going on. It amazes me that there's still so many voters, conservative voters in Texas, who still don't know about the Dustin Burrows situation. You know, and Phelan, before it should have, when it happened with Phelan, but boom, that should have been okay. And the ones that do know look at it and go, well, what good does it do to vote? Okay, we voted, we went to the polls, we voted all these Republicans in, and what did they do? They screwed us over. So what good does it do to vote? Okay, and I understand that. I do. I'm frustrated. Those of us out here who do know are extremely, I think frustrated is a diplomatically correct word. I don't think it quite covers how we all really feel. Um, the Republican State Convention is coming up in June. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens there. But this is the fact. Okay. All these people think that just voting, that's all they can do. Okay. Or that's all they should need to do. In a way, yeah, technically, yeah, that's all you should need to do. But the problem is that we're at a point where we've got to do more. Okay. There are way, way, way too many patriots and conservatives who are not actively involved in the Republican Party. And that is the problem. Okay. And again, I've said it before, I get it. The average citizen doesn't want to have to be involved in politics. We want to go to work. We want to pay our bills. We want to take our kids to a movie or to a theme park or to a sporting event every once in a while. Okay. Or go to sporting events that they're involved in. You know, as long as we can go to Taco Bell or Burger King, you know, a couple of times a week or whatever, you know, and that's it. Okay? We don't want to have to get involved in politics. But again, that's the problem. We left politics up to the politicians, and this is what we get. Okay? They lulled us into this sense of, you know, hey, everything's good. You know, you've got a car, you've got a house, you've got a job to pay for the car and the house, you've got 300 channels on your TV, You can go to Taco Bell or Burger King every once in a while. You can go to a movie or a theme park a couple of times a year. Everything's good. Everything's okay. But they kept chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. And now it's to the point where we know it's not okay. Even though even the average ones of us out here, it's not okay for us. And now we're looking going, what happened? Well, what happened is, as I said, we got lulled into, hey, let the politicians handle the politics and we'll just work, pay our bills. That's what happened. And it's not just the politicians actually in office. It's the actual Republican Party. I've said this again. I'm going to reiterate it. If you didn't catch Vivek Ramaswamy live on TV, the presidential primary debate, calling out Ronna McDaniel, who was then the national chairperson of the Republican Party, and the rest of the Republican Party leadership, he was right. There is a problem in the party. See, here's the thing. You go, who the hell is Ronna McDaniel? So this is so many people don't know. How many of you actually know who the state chairperson in your state for the Republican Party is? How many people know who your county chair is? This is the problem. Okay? There is a problem with party leadership. And you go, well, what are we going to do? Okay, and I get it, because even in the small rural county where I'm from, it's a clique. It is. It's been that way for generations. Okay, they've got a little buddy system, and they kind of control things with, and everything. And I have found out that we are far from an anomaly. There are a lot of counties in Texas, and as you know, there are a lot of counties in Texas. Okay, and a lot of them are the same way. We're rural Texas county. Yes, we vote majority Republican. You know how many of those people are actually involved in the county Republican Party? An astonishingly low percentage. In a highly Republican rural county in Texas, like I said, people go to work, they go home. Some of them, after work, they've got farms or whatever, stuff at their house that needs to be, they don't want to have to deal with it. That is the problem. That's got to change. Okay, everywhere across the board. I will say this. There's a lot of talk, it has been for years, about the difference between a constitutional republic and a democracy. When they talk about our federal government, our state government, it's a constitutional republic, not actually a democracy. But the Republican Party is an organization, it's not a government. Okay? They have elected leaders. But guess what? It's purely democratic. That means that if everybody who complains, everybody who wants things to change would actually get up off their butts and go join the Republican Party at their local level, at their local county organization, we could take over the entire party, really, from the grassroots up and start running out these establishment, elitist, whatever leaders, good old boy cliques, buddy cliques, that are the kind of the people that got Dustin Burrows and his little group of buddies, his little group of, oh, well, we're going to work with the Democrats and got those people elected. Because there were people in those counties who knew. The county I'm from, our representative is one of those guys. And there are some of us, like I said, the astonishing low percentage of us that actually pay attention and are involved knew. And we tried to inform people and tell them, don't vote for this guy. But we've still got too many people. They're conservative. They vote Republican, but they're uninformed. And because this guy was buddies with certain people, they poured a lot of money into his campaign. And right before, the few weeks before Election Day, everybody's mailbox every day had or every other day had 3 mailers about this guy. Oh yeah, vote for him, vote for him, vote for him. And instead of doing their research, they just, well, this must be the guy the party's backing, so I'm going to vote for him in the primaries. And that's who they went and voted for. And that's the problem. At this point, I'm telling you right now, honestly, at this point, if you get a bunch of mailers, if you see a bunch of ads on TV or on YouTube or whatever social media you're looking at for a Republican candidate in the primaries, odds are at this point that that's the guy you probably don't want to vote for. Because if he's getting that much campaign money, odds are that he's backed by the establishment and he's in the clique and not the true conservative grassroots clique. We have got to figure out a way. There are those of us out here, the people I'm going to tag in this video when I post it, and the people on y'all's friends list that I hope see this because I posted y'all, or because I tagged y'all. Man, we have got to freaking figure out some way to get the word out. We've got to figure out some way to educate these conservative, patriotic voters and get them motivated, get them, activated. Everybody says that we're making big deals. Oh, it's not really that bad. It's not really that bad. Yes, it is. That's another problem we have. Is people, well, it's not really that bad. You guys are running around saying, Democrats this, Muslims that, blah, blah, blah. It's not really that bad. Yes, it is. Indians and H1B. The Indians are such nice people and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying they're not nice people. But the evidence is out there that they're It's out there. There's video of some of them, flat out saying that they have an agenda. And what's sad to me, man, is it's all about money. It's money, money, money. It's either, well, we're doing this, we're going to screw over, Americans and hardworking Americans, whatever, because we want more money. We want all the money. Or it's, well, I'm afraid to stand up and do something because then the clique is going to come after me and they're going to take everything that I've got. They're going to figure out a way to, to ruin me. And, they're going to come after me, legally with this and that and other thing. And man, and I'm afraid to stand up and do anything. I understand that. I'm kind of in that situation. I stand up to the clique in my little county. I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden, I wouldn't be surprised. But I've got kids. And that's what drives me. Number one, I'm a redneck and I don't like being screwed over. Leave me alone. I don't mind working. Okay. So this is another, let me get into this real quick. When I talk about people, oh, we want all this money, we're screwing these people over, screwing over the American taxpayer or Texans or whatever because we want money. We want money. That right there is a problem. That's a problem with human nature. This whole idea that having the most money, having the biggest house, having the fanciest car somehow validates us. And that's been a human nature problem since the dawn of time. Okay. And I've been saying for years, talking about that, how that needs to change. Okay. Yeah, greed is a problem. When I talk to people about capitalism, I talk about capitalism isn't the problem. Capitalism is just a economic system. Abuse of that system, mainly greed, that's a problem. That's human nature. Okay. So, but we've got to get over this stuff. We've got to figure out a way to talk to people, to get out there and like I said, get them informed, get them wanting to be informed. Okay. And then get them to actually activated because you've got to get informed, and then you've actually got to get your butt to your Republican Party meetings and get involved. You can't say, well, I don't have time, or man, I'm just so tired, or I've got this, I've got that. No, that's the freaking problem. If what they're saying is true about all these Republican and conservative numbers, oh, their approval for conservative agendas is up. Even amongst young people, it's up. And there's Democrats are losing ground. Blah blah blah. If those people who are supposedly out there, we're getting told every day they're out there. And again, that's a lot of problem. People see those numbers on Fox or whatever. Oh well, yeah. Even CNN's reporting those numbers. Oh man, approval for Republican and conservative agendas is up. And then conservatives see that and they go, oh well, everything's going okay. I don't have to worry about it. No. You still have to get out there and get involved. You still have to go vote. Complacency, man. And it's got to stop. We've got to figure out a way to get these people to stop being complacent and get off their asses and get involved. Or come November, they're going to be, well, what happened? There's nothing I could have done. Yeah, actually, there is. There's something we can all do. Like I said, man, I'm redneck. I don't like being, as long as you leave me alone. But once you start fucking with me, and especially doing that, I can obviously see is going to cause my kids' future. Nah, nope. Mm-mm. So I don't know what else to say, man. So I know in my little county, I've got work to do. My friends there who are true conservatives and true patriots, we've got work to do. I hope that this spreads through every other county in Texas and then through every other county in every other state. Because I'm telling you right now, if we don't do something, so that's the, and I've been saying this since 2010. Okay. I see people all the time saying, why doesn't somebody do something? Everybody who says, why doesn't somebody do something, needs to realize that somebody is in the mirror. Nobody's coming to save us. Okay? Not Trump, not Vance, not Marco Rubio, not Marjorie Taylor Greene, if you believe that, or, no, it's us. We have to save ourselves and our children and grandchildren. We've got to do it. You have to get up off your butt and get in the fight. Don't know what else to say. As I always say, do your research, ask questions so that you can make informed decisions. Love y'all. Be good people.